So let's just start by sharing my screen with you. And I'm going to start with this show here. I hope you can all see this slide. We're going to be talking about takeout doubles, different kind of takeout doubles. The normal takeout doubles that we're used to when the opponents open the bidding. And we're also going to look at bidding in the pass-out seat, sometimes reopening the bidding with a double or with another bid. So we'll have a look at all that. I hope you can all see my screen. And let's start off with a look at what I call the normal takeout double. So here, North has opened one spade, and East, you've got the perfect hand, perfect distribution for a double there. Rather than overcalling, which should show a 5-card suit, you can double to show the unbid suits. It shows something like an opening hand and support or tolerance for the 3 unbid suits. So you double there. You're hoping your partner will bid hearts if they have a 4-card heart suit. Otherwise, you can support any suit they bid. Do interrupt me if you have any comments or questions. This should be very familiar to you. Even if I didn't have quite the perfect distribution, suppose I've only got 3 clubs here, I've got an extra spade, this is still pretty good shape for a double. Again, your partner will bid hearts if they can, and even if they bid clubs, you've got at least some kind of support. Now, if I change the hand again and make it a bit flatter, what can I bid here? Anyone like to, there isn't a poll, anyone like to tell me whether they think what they could bid with this hand? Unmute yourselves.
I think you could still double, Tony, because you have got 3 cards in any suit, haven't you?
Yeah.
I would pass.
Yeah. I mean, this is not so good for a double. The other bid sometimes, actually, if you were a dealer, this would be perfect for an opening bid of 1 no trump. But here, you can't bid 1 no trump really for 2 reasons. One, you don't have a spade stopper, and also 1 no trump as an overcall is a stronger hand. The EB recommends 15 to 17 now. So it's not suitable for 1 no trump. It's not really ideal for a double either, in particular because I've only got 3 hearts. Now, I would probably recommend passing with this hand. It could work out well to double, and maybe your partner will bid their long suit, and you'll at least shown your partner that you've got something in all the suits. On the other hand, you may end up playing in a heart contract with only 7 trump if you start by doubling. So, opinions vary. I think this is not really quite the right shape, especially because I've only got 3 hearts for a double. Perhaps if I had 4 hearts, I would, even if I had 3 cards in the other suit. So you could double, you might get away with it, but perhaps a pass is the best bid there. You can also double in a situation like this, where the opponents have bid 2 suits. So South opened a diamond, North bid a spade, and here you have the 2 unbid suits. You have hearts and you have clubs, and you can show both suits by making a double. Again, that shows an opening hand with the 2 unbid suits in this case. Obviously, you want your partner to bid hearts if they can support your hearts, or otherwise maybe they'll bid clubs. Any comments or questions? Do interrupt me.
Tony, in the first one,
Yeah.
if your partner hadn't bid yet, so
Yeah.
it went to something double, and when partner then bids, because they haven't had a chance to say anything at all, how do you know whether they've got an opening hand or points or anything?
No, you don't know anything about their hand.
No, because they haven't bid yet.
Yeah, right. But you're bidding, you're doubling, and you want them to bid their best suit. And
so once they've done that, yeah.
And even if they have no points, they will have to come back with something. Unless here if South bids, then they're off the hook. But if South passes, they will have to bid something. So if they bid something like 2 hearts, they're not showing any points. It could be 0 to 8 points. Was that your question?
No, it was the very first one you had where.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. You've doubled. West hasn't bid at all.
No.
So when they respond to your double, let's say they say 1, 2 hearts.
Yes.
You haven't a clue if they've got a lot of hearts or points or anything.
Well, if they bid 2 hearts, they're showing 0 to 8 points.
So they have to bid at a higher level if they've got an opening hand.
Yes, that's right. If they have 9 points or more, then you're meant to jump. It's one of the most common errors in bidding that I see almost every time, that someone doubles, their partner's got a good hand and just bids at the lowest level, and they forget that shows 0 to 8 points. With 9 points or more, you need to jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I tell the difference between a negative double, which might only have 9 points?
Okay, so these doubles that we've looked at so far are what we would call normal takeout doubles. And they happen when the opponents open the bidding and you intervene with a double. A negative double, and there's an example of it coming up, occurs when your partner opens the bidding and the opponent's overcall, and then you double, and then that double is what's called a negative or Sputnik double, and that could be a much weaker hand, maybe as few as 6 points.
Thank you, Tony. I should have known that. Yeah, thank you.
So it depends. Well, I think we're coming on to an example of that in a little bit later. Here's another situation where you might think about doubling. Here, North has opened 1 diamond, and although you've got the perfect distribution to make a takeout double, you've only got 9 points, and it's a little bit weak to double. A double should normally show more like an opening hand of 12 points. So let's suppose you pass, and let's suppose the bidding continues like this. South bids 2 diamonds, West pass, over to you. You are now bidding in the pass out seat. That is to say, if you pass, the opponents will play in 2 diamonds. And it seems that they aren't very strong. They're about to play in 2 diamonds. North didn't make any move to go above 2 diamonds. South has got 6 to 9 points. So this is a kind of situation where you're bidding in the pass-out seat, and you need to bid a little bit more aggressively than you might normally do. Even though I said you're perhaps a bit weak to double 1 diamond, now that you're about to bid in the pass-out seat, you should take some action here, and you should probably double here. And because you're doubling in the pass-out seat, what you do, there's a sort of theory that you should add 3 points to your hand, or if you like, imagine that you've borrowed a king from your partner, and this hand becomes worth a double. Rather than let the opponents play in 2 diamonds, you double. And when your partner, the double of course is an instruction to your partner to bid something. If they bid 2 hearts, that doesn't really show anything much in their hand, except hopefully they've got 4 hearts, and at least you will push the opponents on to 3 diamonds unless you get to play it in 2 hearts. So if my partner bids 2 hearts, that's not a jump bid. They couldn't take any action earlier, and they're just bidding 2 hearts. They may well have a hand something like this. This is 9 points here, but they should downgrade that 9 points because you've borrowed a king from their hand. In other words, they should treat their hand more like worth 6 points, and with 0 to 8 points, they just bid at the lowest level. And you may end up playing this in 2 hearts, or you may push the opponents into 3 diamonds. If they do bid 3 diamonds, you have a choice as to what to bid there. Should you bid 3 hearts, or should you let them play it in 3 diamonds? And most of the time, I would consider it reasonable to pass 3 diamonds. At least by taking some action, you force them 1 level higher. And on this particular layout, for example, the computer finds that East-West can make 2 hearts. North-South could make 2 or 3 diamonds, depending on how they play. They might make 3 diamonds or they might go down. And at least by you bidding 2 hearts, you push them 1 level higher. But I wouldn't keep bidding unless I had really good distribution. But here, I've already, stretched a little bit to bid my double, and I would probably pass three diamonds. Your partner could have bid if they'd had extra length in hearts. Maybe it would be right to bid 3 hearts. And sometimes you'll bid 3 hearts and you'll push them into 4 diamonds, and they'll definitely go down. The other thing to look at here is the vulnerability. You don't want to bid too high if you're vulnerable, but you might bid a bit more aggressively if you're not vulnerable. So in any case, don't let the opponents play in 2 diamonds in this kind of situation. At least bid something and at least force them 1 level higher than they would have been. Do interrupt me if you have a comment or question on that. One question I get asked is, in that situation where you're doubling by borrowing 3 points from your partner, how does your partner know you've done that? Well, they know you've done that because you were bidding in the pass-out seat. You were bidding in the seat where the auction would have ended if you'd not bid anything. Here's a question for you. This is an example of a negative double that Francis was asking about, where I opened the bidding with 1 heart. There was a 2 diamond overcall by West. I hope you agree that's a very sound overcall. And North has made a double in that situation, and that is a negative or Sputnik double. And what that shows is the 2 unbid suits. In particular, it should show 4 cards in any unbid major. So it's promising at least 4 spades. And in terms of points, I recommend that because the double is going to force you, South, to bid at the 2 level, it should show in this situation at least 8 points. There's no upper limit. So that double should show North a hand with 8 points or more and 4 spades. And I've got a poll coming up for you here, which is, what do you think South should respond? So don't answer verbally, have a little think, and I'm going to launch the first of 3 polls and give you a chance to say what you think you should rebid here. Have a little think, and the poll is coming. There are a lot of options in the poll, so choose your bid first by looking at the hand, and then you can just click on what you think is. And here are the results, and we've got quite a wide selection here. Top vote, 37%, was for 4 spades, and then quite a few voted for 3 spades, 19%. Other votes were 11% voted for 2 hearts, 15% voted for 2 spades, 7% voted for 3 hearts, and 11% voted for 4 hearts. So let's have a look. My choice here is, I agree with the majority, and I think the best vote here, the best choice, is 4 spades. If you think about it, you know your partner's got 4 spades. That double should really, really, really promise 4 cards in spade suit. So you have a spade fit, and with at least 8 points, I'm pretty much going very close to bidding game here. If you bid just 2 spades, that would show an absolute minimum. 3 spades is another possibility, but you've got 16 points and a singleton opposite 8 points. So I hope you should agree that 4 spades is a good option. It's definitely a mistake to rebid your hearts, because you know you have an 8 card fit in spades, which you may well not have in hearts. So 4
Tony,
spades or 3 spades, I think, are good choice.
Tony, I was thinking that is your partner actually promising 4 spades? Is North
Yeah.
promising 4 spades? He could, in
Yes.
theory, have 3 spades, which is what I base my argument on.
Yeah. Well, I think if you play negative or Sputnik doubles, the main use of that is to be able to show a 4-card major.
Okay.
And if there's only one unbid 4-card major, it should definitely show 4 cards in that suit.
Okay, so
I mean, not everyone plays negative doubles exactly in that way, but I recommend you do, and I think that's by far the biggest
okay,
use of
yeah,
it.
thanks, Tony.
So in this one, 4 spades is a good contract, and you should be able to make computer finds 1 over trick. In fact, 4 hearts is possible there, but you may well lose 1 more trick there.
Tony, I was just going to ask: is it wrong then for North just to, instead of doubling, just to bid 2 spades?
Yes, I mean, so North with this hand should not bid 2 spades. For one thing, bidding a suit at the 2 level should show more like 10 points.
Yeah.
And if you're playing negative doubles, a 2 spade bid should promise a 5-card suit. So because you can make a negative double to show a 4-card spade suit, you reserve the bid of a suit to promise a 5-card suit.
Yes.
And nearly everyone will play negative doubles this way. If you don't play negative doubles, it's quite a tricky hand to bid. But playing negative doubles, it's perfect for that. You've just about got enough points, and you've got 4 spades.
Thank you.
All right. So that is an example of a negative or Sputnik double. What about this one? This time you've opened a spade. There was a 2-diamond overcall. This time your partner didn't bid anything. So they pass, and now again you are bidding in the pass-out seat. If you pass, the opponents will play this in 2 diamonds. Anyone like to tell me what they think you should bid with this south hand? It's not a poll this time. Anyone like to volunteer? You could pass.
2 hearts.
2 hearts, yeah.
Yeah, 2 hearts. You don't want to let the opponents play in 2 diamonds, and even though your partner's probably pretty weak over there, you want to bid to get your partner, give yourselves a chance to find fit in one of your suits. If your partner didn't like your hearts and preferred the spades, maybe they've got 3 spades, they would go back to 3 spades. Sorry, to 2 spades. Or you might find the opponents end up bidding 3 diamonds here. On this particular layout, your partner, you can see, was very weak, but they do prefer your hearts to your spades, and even with only 4 points, you should be able to make 2 hearts, or 3 hearts is what the computer finds, whereas you would only make 1 spade. Some people with this hand make the mistake of rebidding spades here, but really, by bidding 2 suits, you should be showing at least 5 in the first and at least 4 in the second. Pretty good distribution. And even though your partner is very weak, you don't want to let the opponents play in 2 diamonds, which on this particular layout, the computer finds they could make. On this hand, you may well find that East-West bid 3 diamonds here, and then you've got a difficult decision as to whether to go to 3 hearts or not, which you could make, although you're going to defeat 2 diamonds as well, according to the computer. But don't let them play in 2 diamonds. Bid a bit more aggressively, especially in the pass-out seat, and you give yourselves a much better chance, or push your opponents higher. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
If you had 3 spades and 3 hearts, you would
Yes.
send your partner back into his first suit, wouldn't you?
Definitely. Yes. Definitely.
I have
Yeah.
a contention about this sometimes when I'm
Yeah.
playing.
Yes. No, definitely. If North had equal preference for the majors, they should bid 2 spades. Okay, and the partner shouldn't get excited about that, because they should realise that you were too weak to bid 2 spades initially, and don't start bidding game on this.
So does that apply even if you're the 3-3 or the second one is you've got better cards?
Yes, I would say so. I
Thank
would
you.
say almost always, if you've got equal length, you know, even if they're weaker cards, you almost certainly want to be in the first suit. What about this one? Here it's gone 1 heart, 2 diamonds. Again, your partner passed, back to you. Okay. What do you think you can bid with this hand? Anyone like to suggest anything?
Double?
Yeah. This is a good hand. Again, you don't want to let the opponent play in 2 diamonds, but you want to bid something. Now, you might bid 2 hearts here, but I think a much better bid is to double. And as long as your partner realizes that that is for takeout, they will most of the time bid something. So if the layout is something like this, if it goes double and with West passes, North now should realize that they want you to bid something, and North here would bid 2 spades, which may well end the auction unless the opponents go on it in diamonds. Here the computer finds that you can make 3 spades or 1 heart, while East-West can only make 1 diamond. So the double there is better than bidding 2 hearts. It's also better than bidding 2 spades, because if you bid 2 spades, which is, if you like, a reverse bid, you are forcing your partner to bid 3 hearts if they want to take you back to hearts. So a double there is really a useful bid. It tells your partner, I want you to bid something. You know your partner is weak because they didn't bid anything over the 2 diamonds, but you want them to bid something. Okay, so I like the double there, and doubles of low-level suit contracts are for takeout.
Tony, that also looks like a negative double, that you're showing you've got 4 spades.
It's not a negative double. So negative doubles occur. It's not a negative or Sputnik double. It's a bidding in the pass out seat with a double.
Okay.
So it's a form of takeout double. It's slightly different from the normal takeout doubles, but it still has the meaning of wanting your partner to bid something. Here your partner can bid spades. If they didn't have spades, maybe they've got 3 hearts, so maybe they could support the hearts. But you double here to get your partner to bid something.
Tony,
Yeah.
was North correct in their bid?
Yeah. What do you think they should have bid there?
Well, if you look at losing trick count, maybe they could go 2 spades?
What, initially over the 2 diamonds?
Yes.
Well, okay. I mean, if you mean 1 heart, 2 diamonds, 2 spades.
Yeah.
Well, you're much too weak for that. Bidding a new suit at the 2 level would show more like 10 points.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, North is almost good enough to make a negative or Sputnik double over 2 diamonds.
Yeah.
Because you have 4 spades there, but you've only got 5 points. And normally a negative double to where your partner has to bid at the 2 level would show more like 8 points. So you pass initially, but when your partner reopens the bidding with a double, now you should bid something. Here's
If there hadn't been an intervening bid, could he have bid 1 spade?
Oh, it's close, isn't it? If West had passed, would you respond 1 spade with this hand? It's very close, and I think I probably would.
I think I would as well.
Because I don't really love hearts, and you're 1 point shy maybe, but I think I'd just about bid 1 spade. But you shouldn't bid 2 spades directly over 2 diamonds.
Okay, thank you.
Here's a second poll question for you, and this time we're looking at it from North's point of view. South, your partner's opened 1 heart. There's been a 2 diamond overcall, and North, I'd like you to tell me what you think North should bid with this hand. So have a little think about it. Don't answer verbally. And I've got the second poll question coming up now. Quite a lot of you have not answered this one. Maybe it's too difficult.
Can one change one's mind?
You can try. I don't know if you will it count to allow you to. I don't think it does. Any other answers? Only 2/3 of you have answered this time.
Yeah, I wanted to have a look at the screen again, Tony, so I took the thing down.
Okay. Sorry if I didn't leave it up long enough.
No,
Anyway,
no, it wasn't that. It's just I couldn't make my mind up.
okay. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's share the.
I'm going to pass.
Okay. I've ended the poll there, so you can put your answers. A majority here went for 2 no Trump, 43%. 33% said pass. 19% said double, and 1 person said 2 spades. My vote here is for pass because I don't think my hand is suitable for any other bid. If I were to bid 2 no Trump, which was a popular answer, that's close, but it should be more like 10 to 12 points with a diamond stopper. Now, you do definitely have a diamond stopper, but you're just a little bit too weak for 2 no Trump. I'm not going to bid 2 spades. I've only got 3 cards. So, although I would have liked to show something, I don't think there's any bid that's suitable. I'm going to pass here because I think I'm a bit weak for 2 no Trump. Now, if the bidding goes round as follows, 1 heart, 2 diamonds, if you do pass, the bidding will come back to the south hand. And what do you think South should bid here? There's not a poll on this one. What do you think South should bid with this hand?
Double.
Yeah, South should double for takeout. Oh, by the way, those of you who said North should double, that would be a negative or Sputnik double, showing the unbid suits, and in particular 4 cards in a major. So it would be a kind of takeout double. So the North hand isn't suitable for a takeout double, for a negative double there, but the South hand is. It's in fact the same hand as we've been looking at, but rather than bid 2 hearts or 2 spades there, you should really double to get your partner to bid something. And if you do double, what do you think North should bid? Again, there's not a poll there.
Leave it.
What do you think North would bid? Yes, leave it, exactly. So once in a while, it's right to leave in the takeout double. And this is such a hand. You're leaving it in because, well, first of all, you can't really support hearts particularly, or any other suit, and you have very, very good diamonds, and they're very well situated in the sense that, you know, declarer can't finesse against your queen and jack because they're in the wrong seat. And rather than bid anything, you should pass in this situation and collect a penalty. And on this particular layout, the computer finds that North-South can make a part score of 3 hearts, 3 spades, or maybe 2 no Trump. But the best score that you would get would be by defeating East-West. And perfect defense, you would defeat 2 diamonds by 3 tricks. Now, the score you get for that, doubled, would depend on the vulnerability. So even if you defeated only 2 tricks, that would be a penalty score of 300 or 500. Down 3 would be a score of 500 or 800, depending on the vulnerability. And that's a much better score than you can get if you play in a part score of, say, 3 hearts. So so that's the other benefit of South opening with a double there, that very occasionally North will have the right hand to leave the double in. Okay, so knowing you fully expect to defeat 2 diamonds. Any comments or questions? Just one other layout with this hand when South doubles. If it goes 1 heart, 2 diamonds, pass double as I'm recommending, what do you think North should bid with this hand? There's no poll on this one, but what do you think North would bid here?
Two hearts.
Yeah, 2 hearts, I think. I mean, you've got reasonable diamonds, but they're not good enough to be certain that you're going to defeat 2 diamonds, and you do have 3 hearts. So your partner wants you to bid something. You don't want to bid another suit, but you have 3 card support. In fact, your hand was pretty close to bidding 2 hearts right away over the 2 diamonds, which would show something like 6 to 9 points. But here, if you don't bid initially when they double, now you should just bid 2 hearts, and according to the computer, that contract can be made. Whereas East West in 2 diamonds might only go down one trick. I'm going to end the show here today with a hand that was played last March, and here you've opened 1 heart. This was played in board 11. Here you opened a heart. North on all the tables overcalled 2 clubs. East and South passed, and West, it's your bid here. And the final poll is coming up now, and the question is, what do you think West should bid here? So don't answer verbally, and when you're ready, I will launch a poll and ask you to pick your bid. Results with you. And you have 71% went for a double here, and 29% went for 2 spades. And I agree with the doublers here. It's perfect for a double here because you want your partner to bid something. Bidding 2 spades has a disadvantage that if your partner wants to go back to hearts, they'd have to go to the 3 level. So much better here to double. And on this particular hand, if you double, your partner should probably pass because they have a similar hand to last time. No particular fit for you, but they have excellent clubs, and once again they are well situated. And rather than bid something, just pass the 2 clubs, leave that takeout double in for penalties. You know your clubs are well situated, and you should expect to defeat clubs quite well here. When this hand was played, this was the traveller on it, and you can see the best scores were collected by those who defeated 2 clubs doubled, and some collected a score of 500 by defeating it by 3 tricks, and they got 500. Even though the opponents were not vulnerable, down 3 is 500, and that's the top score, which was 19 here. Some only defeated it by 2 tricks. That was a good score too, 300, and that was much better as well than any positive score. So some people here must have bid 2 spades or bid 2 hearts, and although that made, it was not such a good score as defeating 2 clubs double. Okay, so that's the end of the show. Does anyone have any questions about that? So do think about doubling in this kind of situation. Getting your partner, most of the time your partner will bid something, but they may sometimes have a hand where they've got good holding the opponent's trump suit, and your double gives them a chance to leave in the double and penalize them, especially if they were vulnerable. That would be a very good tactic. If there are no more questions on that, we'll end the talk there, with the exception of asking if there's anyone here who needs a partner.